In this video, we're going to demonstrate the process to convert a Tableau dashboard to Quick Sight using the Converter Agent, which is part of EZConvertBI, which is available on AWS Transform. AWS Transform, as you already know, is available from the command console for all AWS clients. EZConvertBI will be available on AWS Transform for clients of AWS to analyze and convert Tableau and Power BI dashboards to Quick Sight. For the purposes of this video, we will actually convert one of the dashboards that was part of the group of dashboards that we analyzed in the prior video. What you see here is the homepage for a developer or engineer that's using Transform. Transform is an AWS product that can be used to speed up and simplify the migration of things like .NET code, Java code, mainframe code, VMware to work natively on native services. And like I said earlier, EZConvertBI is going to be available to do the same thing for migrations from Tableau and Power BI to Quick Sight. So for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to leverage an existing workspace. I'm going to click on the workspace called Beta. Now, the first thing I got to do is create a job that is specific to the Tableau Converter Agent. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one that's already running that I previously created, just because of the fact that it takes a little longer to create the Converter Agent than it takes to create the Analyzer Agent. The very first thing I need to do, though, is I need to tell it specifically what I want it to do. And what I want it to do is help me migrate a dashboard from Tableau to Quick Sight. So I click Enter, and now you're going to see it figure out what are the job plan, what's the steps on the job plan to migrate this from Tableau to Quick Sight. And you see here on the left, it has everything from getting the credentials to creating the Quick Sight analysis and generating the conversion summary. So similar to the analysis we did previously, it has to know what Tableau environment to connect to, right? So I'm going to give it some information via the command line, and I'm going to type that in right here. So I'm telling it to use the Tableau connector ending in BI91E, and I'm also telling it to use the default Amazon Quick Sight connector. And what's different between this and the Analyzer is that now we're not only connecting just to Tableau, but we're also connecting to Quick Sight because it's going to create a variety of objects and assets within Quick Sight, including the data sets, the data sources, and the analysis. So I'm going to go ahead and click Enter here. And it's starting the process connecting to that Tableau server. And you'll see the status as we proceed forward here in the middle. So we're able to connect to that Tableau server successfully. Now, it's wanting some more information, just like the Analyzer. It needs more information about the Tableau site that we connected to. So it found 3 sites. I'm just going to type in BI Converter here. I could have also, done it on the right side over here as well by hitting BI Converter. But I just want to demonstrate typing it in. So I'm typing in BI Converter here. Now it's thinking about that. Okay. The project that I'm going to select is LA Megs. So if I go down, I click on LA Megs, and then I submit. Now there's a lot of dashboards in there. So it's ultimately going to ask me which workbook and dashboards that it wants me to focus on, or it wants to focus on for conversion. And it's thinking here in a second. It's going to allow me to select a workbook. Well, I want to select User Streaming Analytics. And like I said in the pre-video, sometimes the plan on the left side, the chat window, as well as the menu option on the right, take a little while to stay in sync with each other. So right now it's thinking through this whole process. And the next thing it's going to do is it's ultimately going to ask me, which dashboard I want to, or dashboards I want to convert within that workbook. And as soon as this step is done, I'll select the dashboards. And that's going to ask me some questions about the data sources that it's going to create in Quick Sight. And you can see that the analyzer step has been completed now. And you'll see the analysis complete is now updated in the middle window. And that workbook only contains one dashboard. So it's pretty easy. I'm only going to convert that one dashboard, which is a medium complexity one with 7 sheets, 19 calculated fields. I'm going to go ahead and click submit. And while we're doing that, I'm going to real quickly jump over to Tableau so you understand what this dashboard is. So this is the original dashboard in Tableau. As you can see, there's a number of metrics across the top. There are some filters on the side, and we have 6 different charts that comprise this dashboard, all of different various chart types. When you go over to Quick Sight and you refresh it, you can actually see that the latest analysis I have is from 3 days ago. So let's go back to Transform now. So first thing I need to do is it needs to configure my data source, right? So it's telling me how it's created, right? So it's created a data source for me, blah, 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 blah. And first selecting the preferred method. So I am going to give it this information. I'm just going to type it in and then tell it to use a specific manifest file. And don't ask me confirmations to validate the data sets. So I'm going to provide that information. And now it's going to create and verify the data sources and create the data sets. And after that, it's going to continue then the process of creating this dashboard. You can see we're right now in this step here. So it created and verified successfully in Quick Sight the data source. Now it's moving on to create the data sets. It was able to create the data sets. Now it's moving into the inner workings of the creating the dashboard or the analysis. It's working on creating and verifying all the calculated fields. Looks like everything was successfully converted. That step's completed. Now we're creating the Quick Sight analysis. And once that's done, I'll be able to go over to Quick Sight and I'll be able to refresh that and you'll see the new analysis that exists. Now that's completed. The last step, which is to create a summary. So this was 100% successful. We were able to convert the dashboard, all of its components, including the data source. We created a data source, a data set, 7 calculated fields, 7 analysis sheets, and 1 dashboard. And now, when I go into Quick Sight and I refresh it, you will now see a new analysis called User Streaming Analysis. I click on that, and that is the exact same dashboard. So this is the Quick Sight version. So if you, for example, look here in the upper left-hand corner, summary here is 8.6. Over here it's 31,163,053. If I look at the Tableau dashboard, it's got the same numbers. And once again, going back and forth, see all the numbers are the same. There are obviously some look and feel issues, but when you scroll up and down in the Quick Sight analysis, you see all of the 6 charts. You see the filters on the right side. And once again, you see the same information in the Tableau dashboard. And at this point, this was a successful conversion. The remaining steps that would need to be done manually is that an engineer would have to address look and feel issues, including things like placement and color, and then do any kind of final testing that they need to do just to make sure everything converted. But obviously this reduces the length of time from hours and days down to a matter of minutes for the engineer to complete the effort of migration. At this point, this concludes the video. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.